من الشيطان الرجيم ويطعمون الطعام على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكورا. And they give food in spite of love for it to the needy, the orphan and the captives, saying, we feed you only for the countenance and the sake of Allah. We wish not from you reward or gratitude. We wish not from you reward or gratitude. Our next speaker most definitely doesn't need any introduction. His work and the work of Gift of the Giver speaks for itself. I think it will just be sufficient or suffice to say that under his leadership, the Gift of the Givers has grown into the largest disaster response organization of African origin and one of the most respected humanitarian agencies in the world. It gives me a pleasure, only pleasure and honor to call upon our brother Dr. Imtiaz Sooliman to address us.
Thanks, Faisal, for inviting me. Before I go on the topic, I want to acknowledge and remember Yaqub Isaac, your ex-president of the IMA and key member of the Gift of the Givers, head of our medical team. He would have been sitting here today. And it's first May he passed on last year, sudden heart attack. So I'd like to remember him for his years of service that he did for the people of the world, South Africa and the world. I'd like to thank Dr. Malik, who's gone to great sacrifice, he's here in the front, to make all these things happen in Gaza. I'd like to remember Ahmed Abbasi, the head of my office, that was murdered on November 16th, 4 o'clock, at Fajr time, coming out of the mosque in Gaza. And I'd like to remember all my team members in Gaza. We've lost 210 family members. They've killed 210 family members of our teams. They destroyed the mosque, the homes of Dr. Malik, his family, and lots of other destruction. They destroyed our women and child care center, 6-story building. They've destroyed our desalination plants. They've destroyed our trucks. They've destroyed our Al-Qusa healthcare center. They've destroyed everything that we set up in Gaza. It's all gone. Recently, we put up a $150,000 tent refugee facility in the north of Gaza. As it was about to be ready for 200 families, they were about to go in. Israel came and destroyed the entire thing. $150,000 of an entire camp gone. Money is not an issue. Money comes from Allah. He brings it. Life and death is what's important to us. We'll put up another 10 of that if we have to. And we don't mind losing another $150,000 10 times. Because it's about saving life and helping people. What are we doing in Gaza? It's not about what's going on in Gaza. The war is not there. The war is in the world mind. So the approach has to be multi-sectorial. To do this, we've got to deal with diplomacy, the ICJ teams, logistics, financial transfers, develop relationships with different governments, access to different organizations, partnerships, building networks. This is how we're going to be successful in Gaza. It started off with me meeting Zain Dengo, DG of DERCO, spoke to Nelly Depando when she was the International Relations Minister. Through them, meeting the Egyptian ambassador at that time is gone now, and meeting the team to facilitate working through Egypt. Fortunately, we haven't been blocked once. We have total cooperation from the Egyptian government for everything that we're going to do. That's not a normal thing. It's very difficult to have that kind of cooperation, and Dr. Malik is the main front man to make that happen inside Egypt. The organizations are working with us to have access to places where nobody can get to. So diplomacy is critical. Again, our president has said that in Gaza, Gift of the Givers are South Africa's representative in Gaza. He said it many times in many live interviews. And Nelly, when she was the minister, said that on several occasions also. I work very closely with the ICJ team. I can't tell you what I'm doing with them. But I meet them personally, I speak to them, I do things with them. I even fund other things with the ICJ team. I can't give you the details, but the relationship is very, very close. I've got a team also from the ICJ and an organization called Lawyers Worldwide. We're taking Israel to court. The case process has started some time ago last year. It's a very slow process through the NBA to international courts, but an entire legal team is working on this from Europe and in South Africa, and part of the ICJ team members are part of this. This war is to make sure that what happened now is never going to happen again. This is to break Israel's back. And of course, in South Africa, to break Zionist control over everything. We've got active teams working in the universities, in the media, in government, among the political parties, and in various sectors to make sure we break the control completely. And with different race groups and religious groups, and it's very, very efficient and very successful. I'm not going to give you the details, just to let you know, we've got networks everywhere dealing with this. When the war started, on the same day it happened, I told Dr. Malik to phone Ahmed Abbasi and tell him Netanyahu is going to go insane after what happened on 7th October. Buy supplies, get stock, move around, and start distributing where you have to. Of course, Al-Ahli Hospital around 17th October was totally bombed. It was then that I decided to take Israel head on, go for the jugular. And people got afraid saying, will the corporate stop funding you? Now that's negative thinking. You see, we need to understand what faith is. Where does the support come from? Do we worry about geopolitical situations, or we worry about what Quran says? Allah is with those who are oppressed, who are hungry, who are thirsty, who are suffering, who are, every type of difficulty. He is with them. If we're going to be scared to make a decision based on what's going to happen from Zionists or corporates, we are no different from the Arab and Islamic world. We need to be very clear about what we want to do and to be fearless. And I said they can take their money and shove it, because I really don't care about them. Money they are dependent on Allah to provide them sustenance. So He can withdraw the sustenance whenever He wants from them. It's the opposite. The same companies came to us in increasing numbers. New companies came. And in the last 3 weeks, even American companies are coming to us. The total situation changed totally. We have a policy, we don't ask for money. The money comes to us on its own. And all the time, this is not about Gaza now, talk about in general. Even for Gaza, of course, we don't have to ask, it comes on its own. What we are talking about here is the local support. More and more companies are coming in, government departments, embassies are calling us. They now understand very clear on Israel. We don't make any bones about it. We're public about it, we're loud about it, and we make it very clear. The government knows, the embassies knows, the media knows, the public knows, everybody knows. We don't make any bones about it. Because the aim is to break the fear. To destroy Israel and Zionists, you've got to break the fear. Me and Zionists have a good game with each other. They attack me, I attack them back, they attack me, I attack them back. And that's the game we're going to play to show them we're not afraid of them. And that's what we're going to do as business. And our business people got to change their thinking. Everything is, can you take zakat? What kind of thinking is this? You got another 97.5%, what are you doing with it? Zionist people do lobbying. They control. Why can't we fund the Chain University? Oh, how much sabab we're going to get for this? How much zakat is going to give for this? Change your thinking. The problem of the Muslim world is your mindset. You need to change that. That's why they're so successful as such a small group. They're not afraid to spend. We pay Madrasa Abbas 5,000 or 2,000, they pay 25,000. That's the difference. We say we believe in education, we say we believe in supporting truth and progress, but we can't put our money where our mouth is. That's a fact. Sorry, I'm a very young guy. That's the fact, and that's the way it is. We need to change our thinking and the way we operate. We already got people funding different things. Your city is worried they're going to lose this money and that money. There's enough money in the Muslim community to pay for that 10 times over. What's holding us back? Why are we so restrictive? Change your thinking. In everything that we do, change your thinking. So, within the first 10 days, 17 days, not even 17 days, within the first 10 days, Ahmed al-Abbasi said it then, 10 days after the war started, the genocide has started. Around 17 October 2023, he said the genocide has started. They're bombing everything. Roads, water, food, schools, mosques, madrasas, churches, electrical systems, water plants, desalination plants, hospitals, clinics, houses, residential areas, business areas, commercial entities. They're destroying every single thing, and the bombs are more ferocious every time it comes through. It's worse every time with greater intensity. I want to pay tribute to those people. I don't understand how they work inside there. I have no idea how they deliver, and how can they smile when they make those videos? How can they send videos to us smiling all the time when they're in total disarray? They don't know where their family is. They don't know if they're alive. They don't know if they got anything. But they do their commitment with dedication, and they give you a video talking so strongly like there's no war around them. That is the sumud of the Palestinian people. We have to believe in their resilience, and we've got to support them no matter what it takes. Take any force in the world, we must take them on for the sake of 2 million people have changed world history. Political parties have come and gone, governments are changing, world movements are standing up because of 2 million people. This is not a war. There's no armies on both sides. In a war, you have armies on both sides. You have tanks, planes, naval ships, heavy artillery, ammunition, 2,000 kilogram bombs on each side, with 2,000 pound bombs on each side. There's no such thing here. There's an unarmed nation fighting as the fourth largest army on earth, supported by Europe, France, Germany, America, Britain, and so many, and enough money. With our governments in the Muslim world sitting totally docile, doing nothing. So they're fighting all alone. The victory is in the fact that after 21 months, they couldn't defeat an unarmed nation. In '67, they wiped out 3 Arab governments, Jordan, Egypt, and Syria, with armies on all sides. They destroyed armies in 6 days. In 2023, with all the might in the world, and hunger, and starvation, and no communications, and no water, and illness, and disease, and all kinds of calamities, they can't destroy 2 million people. That is, Allah's help is with them. It's clear, it's open. And the best part is, the whole world knows, after 76 years, who was lying. And it's exposed to the non-Muslim world more than anybody else. And alhamdulillah, we need to cherish this and support them. What we were doing in Gaza, we did a lot of stuff, okay? Just let me concentrate on what's going on now, because there's not enough time to do all this. We're working inside Gaza, in the Sinai, in Egypt, did stuff in South Africa, build networks through Qatar, through Jordan, through Turkey and other areas. You need financial transfers. You need to get money inside Gaza. Right now, a few weeks ago, we bought $70,000 of medicine inside Gaza. It didn't come in with the trucks. It came in from commercial business people. In between, they get a time to buy something, a chance, an opportunity to buy something. So they bought the medicine and we bought the entire medicine off. Supporting 3 functioning hospitals now. Actually, there's only 2 really functioning hospitals now. Nasser and Shifa Hospital. When I say functioning, it's not like a normal hospital that you can see is all fully functional. It's very limited operations. We're funding that where we can. One of the wings we refurbish completely in Shifa Hospital. It's fully functional in that one wing. In a lot of areas, we work with partners and we are co-funders with other people. In this war, there should be a lot of partnerships and a lot of co-funding. We're concentrating on 3 major areas: education, water, health, and the 4th one is general relief. When I say general relief, maybe you'll get 1 tent, then you get 2 solar panels, then you get some food from somebody, then you maybe make some hot meals, then you find 10 packets of flour. It's not a sustained, controlled distribution like what we normally do. We can't do that. Stuff is not always available. But we do our best in terms of making stuff because you can't even move around. There's no fuel, remember? So to move around is not easy. To facilitate this, we've got 5 teams of 6 people each. 30 teams, 30 people caught up just below the north, in the center and part of the south, but above Rafah. Rafah is totally destroyed. You can't do anything there. From these teams, they do the general relief, and part of another organization, part of what you saw with women, is we got education in 7 different tents, but 5 classrooms in each tent. In these classrooms, we do educational teaching and some aspect of psychosocial, not to the extent that we're doing inside Egypt. In addition to that, we've put solar panels on desalination plants that we could fix. They're very, very technical. They can do things in a strange, great, they're very innovative, the Palestinian people. So wherever we can do water from the desalination plants, if there's no fuel, they use a donkey cart to move water to different areas. And so water distribution we go, but remember, there's 2 million people who need help. We're not reaching 2 million people. By no way are we reaching 2 million people. Yet aim to help as many people survive, stay alive to the best of our ability. So education to as many children as we can, water to as many people as we can, and health services. We funded 100 allied health sciences students. We paid for their studies, they're learning online, they're learning inside, and they go to different houses, they go to, well, there's no houses now, they go to the refugee camps, and they carry on what the hospital started. Dressings, take some medication that you can get, help with some support, cleaning up wounds, whatever. So you take the burden off the hospitals, so the hospitals can focus on the urgent, immediate trauma, acute trauma cases. And we funded these 100 kids, they get paid by us, and they move around. It's also about creating a local economy. Whatever we can pay for, we pay. because we don't want anything for free. It's to help people make progress and help their own economy. Last year in August, thanks to Thomas Nicolau, gave us $250,000 of medicines, mostly anesthetics and analgesics, which went from Jordan into Gaza, went to the different hospitals. On the 28th of May, I was with him again here in Durban, in Amshanga. He offered us more medication. I told him it can't go in as yet. Can we use it for Syria? He said, yes, we can use it for Syria, but when the door opens up, come back to me. I want to give for Gaza again. He made it known openly, not afraid of any Zionist, any company, anybody in South Africa to say anything. I, as Aspen, am giving medicines for Gaza. Why are Muslims afraid? Question yourself. I just said again, I'll give more, whatever is required. So that has gone in. Then, of course, the education, the water, and the health services to the extent that we can do. We brought in hygiene packs, wheelchairs, tons of food and food items. We brought new clothing, blankets. Our guys are very resourceful. They took material and they set up 10 villages. Of course, the one we put up in the north a few years ago, $150,000, totally destroyed. We'll try again in some other place, no problem. We'll carry on doing that. Inside Egypt itself, because of our relationship with the government, we are one of the only people in the world allowed to have a presence in the Sinai. Sinai is a no-go area. 500 people are being looked after us in a building that we renovated, we furnished, we put the furniture, the beds and everything else. We feed them, we look after them in the Sinai. We got total carte blanche on that. We got 2 preschools, with 3 classrooms in addition to preschool that we're using Palestinian teachers that we're paying for. Everything we pay for. We need to circulate money. And to help those kids so they don't lose. The Palestinian people are very insistent that we must not stop education. That's the future of our children. Many Palestinians got more than 1 degree. Some of them got 2 or 3 degrees. They said it's all you can do in our country here, we study. So education is very critical. Food parcels, water, Ramadan, whatever we can do, we're doing those areas. In Egypt, we're looking after 300 families. We're supporting students with different degrees, mostly medical, but other courses too. We take total care of the entire cost of those students. And then, of course, we provide to 100 people health needs every month. We take care of that also. And of course, the school that Umar is talking about, there's a Palestinian man who owns 40 private schools inside Egypt. 5 of which we're using, it's not for free, we pay for it. And the 280 teachers and 40 psychotherapists are part of that package deal where we partner with other people, and we go to 2,000 children. In addition to the 2,000 children getting education and psychosocial support, we mentioned 930 cases, we also support their families when possible, with food parcels and whatever else is possible. Now, when I say when possible, what I mean is this. We have our own warehouses. We prepare material to send trucks across the border into Rafah. We know the game Israel plays. Bring your truck, wait 8 days at the border, go to Kerem Shalom, spend 8 days there, come back to Rafah, wait another 8 or 10 days there, then go into Qatar House, offload your stuff, wait before you can take it, then you can't distribute it. You can lose 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. In heat, the food will get totally destroyed. But when the door opens up, we don't want to be delayed. So we buy all the items, put in our own warehouses, as if we're going to send it to Gaza. If the door doesn't open up, then in 2 months' time, all these other people I'm talking about in Egypt, they get that stuff. So it doesn't get wasted. So we have a backup plan, instant action if we need to do it. And if, of course, if it goes through, we can also always buy other stuff for the people inside Egypt. It's much more easier to do that. No issues. So that's basically the interventions in the Sinai, in Egypt itself, in Gaza. We are limited in what we can do. We have the capacity to increase our intervention more than 100 times what we're doing right now. But we can't do it. We can't waste money. Right now, because of our net, of course, we was in the West Bank and Gaza, in West Bank and Jerusalem also. In the West Bank, it's a little easier. Recently, they wiped out Jenin and Tulkarm, 40,000 people displaced. We're supporting 1,000 families there every month for the next 3 months. We're supporting laborers who lost their jobs. We managed to do some iftar distribution during Ramadan in Masjid al-Aqsa. We didn't last too long with that, but actually they hate us. Israelis hate us and they hate our religions. If you go to Jerusalem and you say you know about us, you get deported. So we are really hated as a people by them. It's common knowledge. They say it quite openly. It's not a big deal. We don't want them to love them than us in any case. We want them to hate us even more. And so that's the main things in terms of the different types of activities we're doing. Because of our reach and our relationships, diplomatic relations, a group of Palestinian business people, and I must applaud the Palestinian people outside Egypt, that have made available, outside the world, outside Gaza, in the West Bank, have made money regularly available to us Palestinian people from other parts of the world, from the US, from Europe, from Saudi, from Turkey, have made money available in dollars, which assists us in do what we do. Our operations are really huge and they cost a hell of a lot of money. And in addition to that, at a conference recently, your brother was there in Jordan. Oh, you went? Oh, you and the cousin? Yeah. At the conference, we made a relationship. There may be a possibility that 15 trucks will be allowed from Jordan into Palestine somewhere along the line. We've made an application to give 5 of those trucks to us. If it comes through in a month or two, those 5 trucks every month will be loaded with medicines paid for baths. We made those arrangements through the conference. It was hosted by one of the princes in Jordan. Then, through a conference in Turkey, there were a lot of groups there. Another group of Palestinian people came to that conference, and after sitting with us, they committed to us over the next 3 years, and they want us to do it, $60 million to upgrade the educational system inside Gaza. We told them, sorry, no money now. Because a build house today, nobody would have bomb it. No point doing it. The tent schooling is the best right now. It's more safer, it's more effective, it's more efficient. We don't want the money right now. As an initial tranche, if the doors open up, they're just waiting for me to sign on the dotted line. The moment I do that, they give us $30 million instantly. I'm not going to sign now. I don't want to waste their money. I don't want to put the Palestinians at risk. But at the right time, we have people from all over wanting to make a difference. I'm not worried about money. I'm worried about mindset change. We're working with Christian evangelists. A month ago, I hosted a supper for Jewish people in South Africa. One of them is Zapiro, the cartoonist. Because them and their families are being isolated by the Zionists. We show them that we are part of your family, they're working with us. For the first time in the Mothers for Gaza March, 2 or 3 weeks ago, a lot of Christian organizations joined, coming to the forefront. We're changing academics around their thinking in Stellenbosch, in UCT, and Wits, and other places, in Pretoria University and other places. People want to see the truth, we need to engage them. What we do? We go to the mosque. We go to Muslim halls. How expect non-Muslim to come there? We preach it to the converted. Our thinking is wrong, our strategy is wrong. We're working upside down, to be honest. When Bilal Khalid came from Al Jazeera, I hosted a dinner for 100 journalists, heads of schools of journalism in UCT, UWC, and Stellenbosch, and other private sectors. They all came. And they wrote and they spoke about the truth. And the Zionists just couldn't handle that. Dan Corder, who does this podcast, we had a whole episode on Palestine on his own podcast, and because ANC is now contracted to his podcast, it goes on ANC also. We need to infiltrate the information and get it to as many people as possible. And the last point, dealing with psychologists and psychiatrists and building networks. Zola, my wife, has got a whole network of psychologists and psychiatrists, and more psychologists, building an entire network of new techniques, new ways to work, how to support the people in Gaza, how to have those psychologists work with them in the West Bank, work with them inside Gaza, work with your women eventually, and work with different people, how we can eventually intervene in what women and Islam inside Gaza. So those networks are going. And of course, the Palestinian students have been brought to South Africa. 59 of them, 27 in UCT, 22 in Wits, and 10 in Pretoria. Those networks to show it was more symbolic than anything else. To say that we can put a student from Gaza into UCT. And they were threatened, they're going to withdraw the funding. And they said, withdraw the funding, it's fine. We've created the mindset that you can take your money and run, we really don't care. But I need the Muslim people to open your hearts and your mind and your thinking. So start taking up those chairs in UCT and Muslim everywhere else. Don't say you're supporting the cause, please. You're supporting this cause and you're afraid to make meaningful interventions. You want our government, a non-Muslim government, to make a stand in ICJ when the non-Muslims, 56% of countries are being buggered. As Muslims, we need to stand up and say, we with you. Why do you think I spend so much of time with government, with the president, with the ministers, and everybody else? It's just say, we're holding your hand. We appreciate you are non-Muslim people. You understand what apartheid is. We are very grateful as a nation that we stand by. Put your money where your mouth is. Thank you.